Too Many Hats podcast with your hosts with the most, Tony and Lavelle. Every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock That He. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. Too Many Hats podcast. Top of the morning to you guys, man. One time, man. What's going on? Tony Mays, Lavelle Salter, Too Many Heads podcast. See me back in a minute. What's today? Yeah, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Hopefully you guys had a great hump day yesterday. Looking forward to another great subject matter. There you go.
Good morning to you, good people. Good morning to you. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing well.
Good. We got a little late start this morning, y'all. We do apologize. I apologize. It wasn't Lavelle fault. It was on me this morning.
We give you grace, Doctor. Give you grace.
Yeah, I appreciate the grace.
What's up, Zoe?
Little Zoe from Kokomo. Man, yeah. different kind of morning, bro.
Shouts out this morning, man, to the lovely ladies of AKA on their Founders Day. I think Miss what's our friend now? Is it? Huh?
What's who?
I just went blank. I just had a brain fart. Yeah, Miss Powell. She's an AKA. Somebody else on her did be on her as an AKA. I can't remember. But happy Founders Day to all the AKAs. J15.
All right, man. I don't know why these lies be tripping, so I'm trying to figure out why. You put stuff out there. All right. I don't understand what be going on with Facebook sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you try to do when you do your live, anyway. I don't understand what be going on sometimes. What would healing look like if emotions were honored? It's a good damn question today. Good effing question. Sometimes I feel like, bro, like men, like women, people don't give a fuck about us, bro. Like, yeah. They really don't give a fuck about us, bro.
You said that from your chest.
Yeah. What would healing look like if emotions were honored, bro? Healing would look like coming home to yourself Not by getting rid of emotions, but by finally giving them the respect they were always asking for.
Straight out the gate. So on these particular outlines, how are you coming up with these? Is it still the ChatGPT just doing an outline versus the PowerPoint?
Yeah, I'm just doing the PDF and going through the talking points. It really has the same information that a PowerPoint has, but a lot of time, man, when we put up those PowerPoints, when you talking, I want to see you and what you're saying, not in that little box. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, and I want the viewers to really be able to see us. Sometimes your facial expressions and things that you say when you're making your points, you know, body language and all that means you know, a lot.
You got an excellent point.
I started trying to do these power, you know, not to say that we won't have PowerPoint sometimes, but you know, sometimes I just want to see what's in your eyes, what's in your face.
Well, that'll be another we'll talk about that later, but I guess it'll be another StreamYard opportunity where you'll be able to actually move your image, so to speak. I make it larger if you wanted to, where it can be over the actual image.
Right.
Almost kind of like a green screen, so to speak.
Right. Yeah. So what would healing look like if people unenjoy emotions? What would the healing actually look like, man? Craig's top of the morning. You all have my condolences for the tremendous loss you have taken. Love y'all. Appreciate it, Craig.
Yes, sir.
Hey, brother. But it's almost as if like men don't have emotions. We don't have any emotions. We're not supposed to have any emotions. We just supposed to be everybody's stepping stone, rug, doormat. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah.
I don't just think it's just. I mean, that's true. That's a true statement, but people just don't value emotions. Period. They don't. They think you should. They don't have any value. They don't have any meaning. I just saw somebody post early last week. They were like, "You need to get out your emotions." I'm like, "How the hell you do that?" I mean, that's who you are. That's your intellect. That's your thought process. Your emotions is everything who you are when you really think about it.
Yeah. Number one, man, you stop treating feelings like problems. Instead of saying what's wrong with me or what's wrong with that person, you'd say something in them needs attention, something in me needs attention.
Right.
Sadness wouldn't mean weakness. Anger wouldn't mean you're too much. Fear wouldn't mean you're failing. It would all be valid information, not a character flaw.
Wow. That's going back to the video that the gentleman said.
Bro, this hit different this morning. You stop treating feelings like problems. You know, people won't look at your feelings as if they are problems. And that's kind of what people do now. Your feelings and your emotions, they look at it like it's a problem. Craig said, I used to think that way. To people that matter in my life, they make it safe for me to express my emotions. Yeah. You should be able to do that, Craig, without any repercussions, without any failings, without anything. You should be able to do that. And you ought to feel like you're in a safe space to be able to do that.
Right.
So instead of saying what's wrong with me or that person, something in them needs attention. Sadness wouldn't mean that, you know, they weak or it represents weakness. Anger wouldn't mean that, oh, you're just too much. Or fear wouldn't mean that, you know, we're failing or you're failing. it would all be valid information, man. It's just valid info, bro. It's valid information.
Yeah,
I think it doesn't mean that your character is flawed.
Right. I just think that people don't understand the layers. You know, it's almost like they always give that analogy about the onion. You know, how many layers the onion have, and when you understand the magnitude of what emotions are, once you start pulling back the layers, and especially depending on what you're going through in that particular season, what's happening in life, you know, like I can sense something that's going on with you at this current moment. So that's a layer, you know what I'm saying? And it's up to you. Really, well, kind of go both ways. It's up to you if you want to share that layer. But the problem with sharing that layer is that person gonna respect that layer? I'll put another layer on top of the layer.
You know, you don't want to be vulnerable,
right?
And when you're vulnerable, you're exposed, and that should be good. That should not be a bad thing, Craig. You know, because you ought to have that safe space to be able to be vulnerable.
Right.
And sometimes it's just the opposite, right? You don't get that safe space. You don't get that, and so it's hard for you to be vulnerable in those instances. So another thing, you listen before you react. If healing, you would listen before you react. When emotions rise, healing would mean pausing long enough to ask. What am I feeling? Where do I feel it in my body? What is the emotion trying to protect? Because, you know, a lot of times that's what it is. Your emotion is trying to protect something that's hurt. So what am I feeling? Where do I feel it in my body? You know, is it in my heart? Is it in my head? Is it in my leg, my back? You make my mom used to say a long time, y'all make my ass eat.
Right, what?
She was trying to say something. We get on I'm nerves. What is it asking me to notice or change?
Here we go.
It's asking me to notice something or change something. Instead of exploding or shutting down, you respond with clarity. If you consider the emotions, if you considered healing, you would instead of exploding or shutting down, you respond with clarity. Your body would finally exhale, Lavelle, waiting to exhale. Honoring emotions would create less tension, less holding it together, less survival mode. But we don't honor emotions, bro. We don't care nothing about folk emotions. It's all about us, bro.
Yeah.
We don't care about the next person. We don't care about what it creates, what it holds, none of that, bro. But let me tell you, if you would honor emotions and really start to heal, this is what it might look like. And few of them headaches, man.
Right.
You ain't getting as many headaches. Guess what else? That sleep deprivation might go away.
Yeah.
Now you're getting a deeper sleep. That tightness in your chest that you feel like, man, I can't even hardly breathe sometimes. Lighter breathing, man. Less anxiety. Fewer emotional crash. You know, some people that be crashing out, you be like, man, they are emotional wreck. Your body needs to exhale. Let it out. You ever heard somebody, man, they get so frustrated, they say, oh!
Fifi just did it the other day.
Who just did it?
Fifi.
Yeah, because you just look. Let me just let it all out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Monica said listening before reacting is key. Otherwise, relationships could be destroyed due to a huge break in communication.
Yeah, we just talked about that yesterday.
Yep. Your system wouldn't be fighting itself anymore. Basically, you could finally exhale, and you wouldn't. Your system wouldn't be fighting itself anymore. It's if we just would take the time to honor folks' emotions, bro. This is what it would do. You stop abandoning yourself or others. Craig said people listen to respond to feel the need to win the argument. We just talked about that yesterday. Disagreement or discussion. That's why some people don't communicate now or have a hard time communicating.
Mm-hmm.
A huge part of healing is staying present with your emotions instead of leaving the room emotionally. Instead of numbing out, people pleasing, overworking, over explaining, pretending you're fine, healing would look like saying, I'm not okay right now. And I still deserve care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not okay right now. And I still deserve care.
Mm-hmm.
Relationships would get real, bro.
Mm-hmm.
If we just honor them emotions, man. Honor the emotions create honest connections, not performance. Healing will look like this: safer communication, fewer silent treatments, fewer blow-ups, boundaries without guilt, love without losing yourself, apologies without shame. People would ask, what you need, man, instead of, why are you like this?
Well, I think a lot of what the problem is, and again, it's crazy. A majority of the time when you ask somebody, hey man, you okay?
Yep.
9 times out of 10, the reply gonna be, yeah, I'm fine. And depending on who you are, if you got that spiritual discernment, and a lot of times you ask that question and already know the answer.
You know they not good.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So that's why you ask the question. But what's the dangers, and the dangerous thing in that is that instead of you telling me how you truly feel, because you're trying to protect me and yourself, you say I'm fine, and then hour, 2 hours later, you know what? No, I asked you earlier. I had the space to take on that moment. Right now, I'm in something else. But
sometimes it may take that, LaVelle, because in that moment when you ask me that, mm-hmm. and you know I'm not good, and I know that you know that I'm not good, but I may need that little space because I may blow up, and it might not be the time for me to, you see what I'm saying? Just like you might not be in the space. So I may come back and say, you know what, earlier you said, I just wasn't in the space to talk to you right then.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Craig said feeling unheard is neglection in my eyes.
Yep.
Depending on who you referencing or who you talking about, could be.
Mm-hmm.
Grief would be allowed to finish his job, man.
Oh my God.
Grief, listen to this, bro. Grief isn't meant to be gotten over. It's meant to be carried with compassion until it becomes softer.
Yeah, I got to keep this some dots. Wow.
Grief would be allowed to finish its job, bro. It isn't meant to be gotten over. It's meant to be carried with compassion until it becomes softer. Then you can cry without embarrassment. You can miss someone without rushing to replace them. You can let the loss change you without breaking you. Man, bro, this
crazy.
Man, this right here is different. This is different, bro. Anger becomes wisdom, not destruction. Honored anger, listen to this, bro. Honored anger becomes a guide.
Yep.
Anger would be recognized as a signal that a boundary was crossed, proof you matter. Because if I didn't get angry with you about something you did to me, that means you probably don't even matter to me anyway. That's a lot of people wouldn't even see that like that. That the anger becomes wisdom, not destruction. Honored anger, when people honor the anger, it becomes a guide, and it will be recognized as proof that somebody matters to them, not you ain't it to them.
Right.
Evidence, it's evidence that something needs to be changed, or something needs to change. Healing would look like using anger to be a protection, not chaos.
This thing all in my business, doc. It's crazy.
Man, when I tell you it should be a gazillion million people on here.
Man. I'm resharing this, doc.
It's crazy, bro. Ooh. Well, this definitely needs to be a part 2 for sure. This needs to be a part 2.
I'm here for it,
doc. Check this out. If your emotions were honored, you wouldn't need to earn rest. There'd be no need to earn rest. If emotions were honored, you stop forcing yourself to prove your worth through exhaustion. Oh boy. Then the healing would mean resting without guilt, taking breaks without fear, slowing down without shame, any shame.
Wow.
We wouldn't have if your emotions were honored, bro, you wouldn't have to earn the rest. You wouldn't need to earn it. You can go lay down, no guilt, rest. You can take breaks, and you can just slow down, bro.
And I guess the thing too, bro, I think, not only the person honor the emotions, but you yourself honor the emotions. I think that's the most vital part.
This is a two-part, and I'm glad you brought that up a bit, because this is two-part. This is speaking to yourself and to others.
Right. Because and we all are guilty, but the thing of it, what happens is, and why it gets misplaced, because we get caught up in the rat race. And you always say this, we end up not being present in those moments, and you can't honor the emotions when you trying to chase and run after everything. I gotta be this, I gotta be here, I gotta get this, I gotta get the bag, I gotta. Well, your emotions got time to be visited at. You ain't took no time to sit down and have no moment with them. How you gonna do that? So when the other person comes and they do the same thing that you've been doing, oh, it's a mirror for blowing up. It's gonna be what it's gonna be because you ain't honored it. But honestly, you ain't had no time to. So what do? We ain't gonna get into these jobs and careers. They don't give a damn about your emotions. They don't care. They want you to be there on time, do the work, and then when they don't, and when they get rid of you, they're gonna find somebody else and say that the new and treat them the same way. And be business as usual.
Wow.
So
wow. You speak to yourself and others with kindness.
Mm-hmm.
Your inner voice will shift from punishment to partnership.
Mm.
Instead of get over it, you say, I'm here. We'll get through it.
Right.
That alone, man, if you just think of this, if you, instead of getting over it, you'll say, I'm here, we'll get through it. That alone changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
That right there changed everything.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell yourself to get over it. You don't have to tell somebody else to get over it. We talked about this yesterday, how that's the worst thing in the world. Somebody tell you, just get over it.
Yep.
Instead of saying, hey, I'm here and we'll get through this together.
Right.
Whatever this is, we'll get through it together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for it.
Right. That's why you have to woosah.
Yeah. That's why I said sometimes, man, you may have to go outdoors and just scream to the top of your lungs.
Real shit.
And just somebody might look at you like crazy, but you could have just saved somebody's life.
Yep.
Or saved a relationship or whatever.
Mm-hmm. It's powerful though.
Yeah, this hit different today, bro. This hit different. And I say that because I do, man. I feel like men a lot of times our emotions are just shitted on, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like we just get totally shitted on, but then we're expected to be emotionally available for everybody. We expect to have some emotional intelligence when it comes to everybody else. And for us, we just get shitted on. Craig, so the question, since you're two being married for years, when was the point in your marriage when you knew you felt safe with being vulnerable to communicate with your spouse? For me and Monica, I would say probably like we've been married 33 years, so probably maybe like 15, maybe 18 years into it. I'm just gonna be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Where I really felt like I could be super, 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 like Monica, my best friend now. Like, so we had to go through those ups and downs. Mm-hmm. For me, I can't speak for Lavelle or Dunn, but we had to go through those ups and downs, and for me to realize that, hey, bro, she's still here. you know. So instead of pushing away or shutting down, and I was still shut down, like, but you know, it wasn't until like really, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man, like the shutdown part, like I was still doing that prior to like us really doing this show. And then me and Lavelle just made a pact. We just wasn't gonna shut down no more. We was gonna address it and head on, whatever. But for the most part, you know, I mean, I had to get through that part, and I ain't gonna tell you I'm completely there,
right?
But I am, yeah, I'm better in that area for sure, way better. Phyllis said, hiding emotions to protect someone else can be harmful to you. Example: after a loved one death, people tell you to be strong for the next person, and then you are drowning.
Yeah, that's deep. I have to say, for me and Don, probably around year, very close to y'all, probably about year 10, maybe year 12, somewhere around in there. And just and I would have to say too, we just really here within the last 3 years, it even got better. And the reason why I believe it did is because some of the things that we're going through presently kind of sharpens you, where you have to be, you know, in those emotional moments to where it makes you really vulnerable, visit some things. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I you know, I have to allow her to have a safe space, and then also when we come back together and have those moments, she just, you know, it's gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. We're gonna get through this. You know what I'm saying? So it's I don't ever think it's just it's a becoming. Like I always say, it's a continual thing. It don't never stop.
But that's why I pretty much always kind of respected what you had to say about that becoming thing. You know, it was never one of those things where I was like, man, he keep talking about this becoming, because I understood it.
Right.
And I could resonate with it. You know what I'm saying? When you start talking about becoming, because with a lot of time, man, becoming is just what it means. Like, you ain't there yet. You on your way, but you ain't got there yet. You becoming as one.
Yeah.
And when you become one, bro, or when you, because I think that's a lifetime journey.
There you go. It is.
So I think that the more you become one, the more intuitive you are, more understanding you are, and the more like it's like crazy now. Like, we be on the same wavelength with dressing sometimes. Like, I come out the closet one day or come out the back and she come out, we got the same color, you know. It's just stuff like that. Or she can order for me, like, and know what I want. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I would have ordered. Yesterday, somebody called and said, hey, we want to buy y'all some dinner, brings, you know, and Mark was like, well, they was like, would y'all just call it or whatever in, and we'll pick it up and bring. And so when I got to that part, I looked at it and I was like, oh, get me it's a salad, man. She was like, yeah. I said, oh, salad, cool, salad, you know. So I dug it myself. Of course, I broke my liquid fast. I'm still doing it, but I just eat like, you know, once, and I do my liquid. But I ate the salad, and I was like, man, you knew I needed a salad. You know what I'm saying? So it's things like that, man, that when you're in that moment, when you're talking about becoming one, is it Craig? That was a hell of a question, by the way. It was a very great question.
Yeah.
And that was that was a good question. Monka says, Craig, is definitely a process that's different for everyone. Oh, absolutely. Craig said, just the fact that you two are able to be honest about that just expresses your accountability for how you handle things. Accountability makes communication and compromise so much easier. Ms. Glenn said, crisis and situations either push you farther away or draw you closer, depending on how both approach and invest in getting to the solution. Yep. Man, y'all is good this morning. Y'all do good this morning.
This is the thing. This is the thing in the whole scenario. And I think, and I just watched a video about this on Instagram yesterday. The problem is majority of the time in the becoming process. So even though you're becoming one, you all are still two different individuals. And
Right.
a lot of the problem, what happens is when that person is in the becoming part, stop working on them, on themselves, then that's where the issue comes in. It now I can work on that part becoming one and miss myself because I'm not doing any mirror work.
Mm.
And so what happens is a lot of times when I'm not doing that mirror work, I start being reflective on that person I'm becoming one with. And then boom, there goes the issue. But majority of the times, a lot of folks is always dismissive, manipulative, whatever word you want to use, because they don't never think about themselves and work on themselves. And so the becoming process is like we always say, you put that gap there. And when that gap get there, there's a problem. give us attention to pride, purpose, and passion and purpose.
Right. So we have to part of becoming Lavelle, is working on yourself as well, right? Mm-hmm. So if we're becoming, if we're in a relationship, we're married and we're becoming one, and I never work on myself. Monica's always doing something to from a personal level to grow personally and change, and I never work on myself. So, and I really want you to kind of, if you can, Deb, explain like how would that affect the relationship?
Both parties are going to be affected because somebody's going to end up lacking simply because you didn't do the work that needed to be done on you. And a lot of time what happens is because you end up trying to help her or him because you think that's because especially when it comes to men, because our anatomy is and our makeup is always to be a protector. Always doing something. So you can be doing so much for that other party till you end up getting missed out in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And
so if Monica's working on herself and I ain't working on myself, but then I'm studying trying to help Monica and do stuff and I ain't working on myself, how can I be of any assistance or any help to Monica if I ain't no good myself?
You can't. It ain't no way for it to do. It's an indictment.
It's an indictment, boy.
Yeah. And actually, it's and a lot of what happens, bro. And this is a lot of people in the world. We suffer what I always call identity crisis. You get lost in the sauce. You get lost. You lose yourself trying to be there for everybody else.
Man, Craig said that the side that's constantly upholding the other side's legs are eventually going to grow tired. Bro, I'm Craig. I'm so glad you said that because that to be honest with you, that's why relationships grow apart and go old.
Mm-hmm.
And people like, well, we just went apart. Mm-hmm. Now, one person got tired of doing all the heavy work, while the other person sat there and did nothing. And they just got tired. They got tired of doing, and so people will really call it what it is in relationship. And that's why when you have a relationship or marriage counselors and all that stuff, when they talk to people, they can sit down and actually figure out what the underlying problem really was in a relationship. Mm-hmm. I'll never forget. I sat down with a friend of mine, and we were talking about, his many relationships, mm-hmm. and why they didn't last. And so I'm just listening to him. And this one, and then it is, and this one, that it is, and this one, that, and then one. Mm-hmm. So I said, let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. I said, what is the common denominator in all those relationships? Mm-hmm. What do you mean? I said, it's you. You're the common denominator in all those relationships. Everything you just described in every one of those relationships was the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Was the exact. Everybody can't be fucking wrong.
Right.
And it was probably hurtful for him to hear it. Mm-hmm. But as his friend, I had to tell him, bro, you might need to reevaluate what you're doing.
There you go.
And your approach.
Mm-hmm. But they're always saying it takes two to tango.
Seeking certain people, you looking for the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm. That's why accountability is so strong. It's so powerful. Because I can't be accountable for you. I only can be accountable for myself. Even though we're together and we want, I got to be accountable for me.
Right.
I can be accountable for what God has blessed me in this particular relationship, but for me to nurture and for their relationship to mature, I got to be accountable for me so I can be accountable for you. It's the only way it's gonna work.
Exactly. Ms. Gwen said, actually, the working on myself part is the true work, because we often don't recognize or are unwilling to look at ourselves and the areas we need to improve, much less committing to do the work to improve me.
Mm-hmm.
We, no matter how strong standing or shaky ground, eventually causes us to stumble and or fall. Yep. Craig said, a car doesn't take care of itself. You can literally drive that car into the ground. Not doing maintenance, eventually it's going to just quit. And that's how a relationship. Y'all analogies, boy. Y'all analogies this morning.
Yeah,
well, y'all, man. Y'all is beating the crap out this thing right here. Let me go back to this grief thing, man. Grief would be allowed to finish his job, bro. If we don't honor emotions so that people can heal, probably grief is gonna be allowed to finish his job.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be allowed to finish his job.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not a bad thing. So I'm not saying grief is, would it be allowed to finish. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a good thing, because you want people to grieve and go grieve properly, get through the process, right? That's why we tell you that it ain't meant to be gotten over. Grief ain't meant to, it's something to be gotten over. It's meant to be carried with compassion until it becomes softer. Because over a period of time, that grief will soften and soften and soften and soften and soften, where people can function better. So it has to be allowed to finish its job.
But just look at the culture that we've created and allowed to carry on and don't address when it comes to men. And I mean, literally, and I don't even like to use the term hate, but I hate the whole thing where men are supposed to cry. This when I say that's the biggest lie from hell. And when you think about the culture of so many men are literally ticking time bombs because they just won't let shit out. Because they worry about what folks don't think about them, how they gonna feel, because they don't look like a man because they crying. Come on, man. You gonna literally you basically committing suicide. You killing yourself slowly. Just not by letting stuff out because you worried about what somebody gonna feel about you. Man, get the hell out of here. No, doc, you out of order. And I really hate, I don't know where that started from. It was here before I got here, and it's still going. If you need to cry, men, cry. I cry with your ass. Shit. Let this shit out, bro. It's gonna kill you. You're gonna be looking around. You're gonna be somewhere in somebody psychiatry ward. You're gonna be around here looking crazy. But hey.
Right.
Nope.
Woo. Boy. You'd speak to yourself with kindness. You speak to others with kindness.
Mm-hmm.
Your inner voice will shift from punishment to partnership. Instead of get over it, man, you say, I'm here. We'll get through it. That alone changes everything, man. And finally, man, you become whole, not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no such thing as a perfect individual.
No.
But you can be whole. And being whole is a lot better than being broken.
Mm-hmm.
Healing wouldn't look like never feeling pain again, because I'm not tell you that being whole you'll never feel pain again.
Mm-hmm.
I would be lying to you if I told you that being whole. The woman with the issue of blood, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They said this woman had this issue of blood for 12 years, man. Had went to all the physicians, spent all her money, did everything, but still had that issue of blood.
Right.
But the woman just heard Jesus was passing through.
Mm-hmm.
I look, and she said, "Look, I ain't gotta do nothing. I think if I just touch it, this the hem of his garment, just a little piece of him,
right,
I'll be made whole." This is her thinking. This is her faith. If I just touch him, not that he speaks to me. Now, I want you to understand something about this. Now, this woman, because of her issue, was considered unclean. This meant that no man wanted to touch her. Nobody wanted to be around her. In fact, when she walked through the crowd, they would holler, "Unclean person coming through." She was ostracized. But yet, when she heard that he was coming through, she said, "I'm going to press my way through this crowd," the same crowd that says, "Unclean person coming through," because she knew that these people were going to be all caught up in the fact that Jesus was passing through. They weren't going to even pay attention to her. That lady pressed her way through the crowd, touched, and the power, the virtue left Jesus' body. He turned around and said,
"Who touched
me?" Man, them disciples looked at him and said, "Come on now, Jesus. Look at all these people around you talking about who touched me." Everybody touching you. No. Somebody with some unwavering faith just touched me. And when the lady realized that it was her, she cowered down and he said, "Woman, thy faith have made thee whole." Come on, man. We got to have a little faith, man.
Oh, yeah.
We got to have some the theologians identified this woman as Veronica. We got to have some Veronica faith, bro.
You're going to preach yourself into feeling better in a minute, Doc.
Ms. Glenn says, "Speak to thinking you've made it through the grief process, but it returns in waves at unexpected times, making you feel like you took 2 steps forward and 10 steps back. How does one handle those emotions?" Again, let me go back up here, because I want you to hear this. You got to listen to this one. Grief isn't meant to be gotten over. Grief isn't meant to be gotten over. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back. Grief isn't meant to be gotten over. It's meant to be carried with compassion until it becomes softer. So, Miss Gwen, you might have some of those moments where you feel like I've took 2 steps forward and 10 steps back. That's part of the process. Allow the process to take its course, run its course.
Yeah.
Allow grief to finish the job. You just keep pressing, keep praying until it becomes softer. And you got to treat it with compassion.
Right. Yeah.
Don't Don't treat it like it's embarrassing or that you need to rush through it, and don't let it break you.
Right.
And that faith softens the grief. Come on here, Craig. That faith gonna soften the grief.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where we are on time, bro.
Almost. Well, based on we starting late, we're on time.
But we got enough time to get through this last point, and then
Right.
we're gonna clock that T.
Yeah.
You become whole, not perfect. Healing wouldn't look like that you would never feel pain again. It would look like being able to feel the pain and still feel safe inside yourself. Not numb, not hardened, just human with softness intact. Ms. Gwen said, great response. That's why I say give yourself grace and not put yourself in condemnation. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Let's clock this T, man, with our girl, Queen Watkins.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all know what time it is. Put them phones down, fingers up. It's time to clock that T with your girl, Queen Watkins. I hope y'all are having an amazing morning. But y'all know what time it is. It's time to clock that T. Y'all, there have been surgeons coming out with being honest, brutally honest about these BBL surgeries, y'all. Let's talk about it. I mean, for me personally, it's really not this serious. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to deal with what God blessed me with, okay? And I'm going to have confidence in my walk with it. And I'm going to make the best of it. Simple as that, right? So, anywho, there has been surgeons that has came out and said that some BBLs are being used with cadaveric fat. And I hope I'm saying that right. Cadaveric fat is dead people fat. Yeah. They donated their fat. Like I didn't even know you can donate fat. I know you can donate your organs and things like that, but people can actually donate their fat. And the fat that they're donating is used to put in women's BBLs. And the minimum price for this is $10,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what the surgeon said was the fat goes through a process that is cleaned, and then once it's cleaned, it gets injected into the woman, hell, or the man, because some men get BBLs too. And then the genetics are cleaned off, but when it's injected into the person, it like hugs the person's original fat to where it connects, and 75% of that fat still lives. And y'all wondering why so many, forget if y'all was wondering, I was wondering, why do BBLs, so many people say BBLs stink? Now, I don't know, because I ain't never sniffed one, okay? But for the people that has, I see why. Some of y'all walking around here with dead people fat in your ass. I'm in your butt. That's insane. And no, I don't think these surgeons is lying. I don't. That's Is that serious? Is that serious? Cause y'all know it's dead people fat in your booty. So I don't get it. I'm almost lost for words. But yes, some BBLs are dead people's fat. So maybe that little smell is the decaying of the fat that's in your ass. Cause I don't know. I don't know. Cause I'm like, they couldn't be. And some of their booties don't be dead big to where they can't wipe they booty good. You know, can't get in between the cracks and crevices. Something else got to be going on. Ding. Here go this news from this doctor. I don't know, y'all. Y'all literally wearing y'all dead auntie and cousins and grandmamas while y'all walking around here trying to look good for somebody else. I'm just saying. I get it. Sometimes, I get it when someone passed away, you want them dear and close to your heart. But you don't try no t-shirt, no necklace, even they locks. They come out their hair if they have locks. Put that fat in your head. No, now. I don't think nobody getting their own relatives fat. Let me just, little joke. But you never know. All right, y'all, that's all the tea that I have today. Make sure y'all tune in to 2 minutes, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. sharp. And don't forget to say something for your girl, Queen Watkins. Clock that tea. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.
I think I believe that whole BBL situation is something with grief, and just thinking about it, she was talking about it. I think it's a loss of attention. People strive for attention. Why would you go put yourself in self-harm like that just to say you got an ass? You got an ass.
Again, I think people to each his own. I've seen some people that have a lot of stomach fat. They take the fat from their stomach and inject it in their butts. To me, that's probably safe because you're taking stuff out of you and putting it back in you. But there, Craig said regular butts stink. So yeah, if they don't wash them, I guess they will.
Yeah.
That's that BBL thing is still a little weird to me, a little crazy to me, but I understand people want what they want. They want to look like how they want to look. And whatever you want to do to make yourself feel better about yourself,
But the thing about it is, what's so crazy, the only way to see your ass is to look in the mirror. And your ass look like an ass for doing what the hell you did.
I'm not finna fool with you today, bro. I'm not. Thank y'all, man, for tuning in today, man. This whole segment. Again, I apologize for being a few minutes late this morning. It was not Lavelle's fault, y'all, this morning. It was my fault this morning. And I take full accountability and responsibility for it. But this was very good conversations that we had surrounding how healing, how healing would help if our emotions were honored. If we honored our emotions, and if we honored other people's and other people honored our emotions, life would be a lot better. Healing would be a lot better, man. So shout out to Miss Gwen dad. He's 94 years old today, man. Shout out. That's awesome. Yeah. Miss Gwen dad, 94 years old, man. That's a long time to be doing anything, especially be on this earth. So shout out to her dad, man. So appreciate you guys again, man. Thank you, Lavelle, again for including this topic in that PowerPoint that you did and giving us this particular topic, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So no part 2. We're gonna start with something else different.
Nah, we're going with the next
one. Okay. I already got the PowerPoint for the other one, unless you want to do it like that, like the one that you got. I chose. I forgot which one I chose. I sent it to you.
And we can do that tomorrow. Let's go. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Pray us out, brother.
Good. Who is this? Whatever. All right. I kind of like, y'all know I've been working on this process. I just want to share this with you. I don't know if it's going to get all of it, but I don't know how grief is a big part of what we were talking with. So here's some takeaway. Grieving is personal. Remember without regret. It's okay not to be okay. Emotions are teachers. That was the biggest piece of our problem right there, talking about the emotions. And forward doesn't mean forgetting. So that's our take home for today. So Let us pray. Most gracious eternal God, our Father, Lord God, we thank you for this day. Thank you for this opportunity. Lord God, I ask you to allow people to live in remembering and not in regret, saying that it's okay not to be okay, and deal with their emotions and allow their emotions to come out, especially our men, God, because a lot of them are suffering silent, and Lord, allow them to get those things out so they can be better versions of themselves than they were on yesterday. We actually continue to touch Monica and Clarence as they go through their grieving process and their families. And we just ask you to continue to touch Tony family, my family, Queen family, and everybody that's associated with us, Lord God. And we ask you to continue to look out and look on us throughout this day. And we actually do these things in your darling son, Jesus' name. And we said amen.
Amen. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Man, look, somebody put an APB out on Rodney and Mayor Mac, man. Put an APB. Oh, wow. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Same bad time.
Same bad place.
2 Men in Hats.
Let's talk about it.
It's the 2 Men in Hats podcast with your hosts with the most, Tony and Lavelle, every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock Dead P. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. 2 Men in Hats podcast.